We want to continue with our lesson concerning encouragement. We've been talking about this gift of encouragement or exhortation. And we have been looking specifically at encouragement because it basically means the same thing. And last evening, over the last couple of evenings, I gave you some do's and some don'ts. So some don'ts and some do's. And before I continue, I want to ask again, do you have any question, any comments, anybody would like to say anything about what has been shared so far? Talk to me. Talk to me. I like to pause. I like to know where we are at. And I want to get a sense of where we are. So I'm asking before we continue, anybody at all, anything? No? We're good? Okay. I think you all are getting scared of me. I don't know. I feel so. But anyway, let's continue. I want to ask a question though. Why should we encourage people? Why is encouragement important? Talk to me. Why is encouragement important? Why, in your own estimation, that should people encourage other people? Why? Talk to me. Anybody? Have you ever been encouraged? Was it important to you? Talk to me now. Either type it in the chat and Joshua will tell me.
Dr. Church. It's because so they don't feel. This is Jonathan. So good night to my wonderful family. Hope you are enjoying the teaching as I am as well. And it's a pleasure seeing you on. But anyways, as I was saying, right, it is so that they don't feel sad or broken, Dr. Church.
They don't feel sad or broken. Thank you, Jonathan.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Anyone else?
Okay, we have some comments, Dr. Richards. We have one that says to give them hope, another says so that they would not be depressed, another says to show them that they are not alone and that you care, another says to motivate another.
Okay, wonderful and all correct, all good. And I want you all to really think and understand the importance of encouragement, because all of us on our journey in this life, we will pass through tunnels, we will pass through dark places, we will be in the valley at times, not just on the mountain. And when in those times, we really need somebody or some bodies to lift us, to motivate us, to bring us back to where we ought to be. All of us. It doesn't matter who. Even Jesus, the Son of God, needed encouragement when he was in the Garden of Gethsemane. So, don't think that, that makes me a lesser person. If I'm feeling down, I'm feeling blue, I'm feeling really, really badly about something has affected me in such a way that I feel I can't go. Number of people, and one of the things I told you is to remind people that they're not alone, they're in good company. People like Elijah, who was discouraged. He wondered, what is going on? I'm the only one that is left. And he even asked God to take his life. And so we need to understand that there are people who have gone through that. And it's not just you. And so all of us need encouragement. Let me give you some reason why encouragement is important. One, encouragement is important because it can remind you of who you are. Sometimes we lose a sense of self. We lose a sense of your worth. Remember, first he was talking about your value, that intrinsic, inherent value that is in each of us. Sometimes, because of what we go through and what we experience, we lose a sense of worth. We feel like nobody. Maybe you got a demotion. Maybe the promotion that you thought you would have gotten, you didn't get it. Maybe you fail that all-important exam and you feel, hey, I can't ever pass this. I'm not worthy. I don't think I can do it. But encouragement tells you, hey, listen, you are valuable. You are worth something. God sent, Jesus Christ into this world for you. And if it were you alone, he would do it. And he wouldn't say, well, look, there's only one person. We need to understand our value and our worth. And that's what encouragement does. It brings us back to the place where we understand our value, our worth, our sense of who we are. The second thing is it can raise your self-esteem and self-confidence, which is a little different. It can give you that confidence. It's like when you first learn to ride a bike, and you go on the bike and you fall, and you get up and you fall again, and you realize, you say, you know what? I can't do this thing. I can't do this thing. And whoever is teaching you, whether it's your father, your mother, or whoever, they put you on the bike and they're holding the bike and you're riding. And they're saying to you, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. And you're riding, and because that person's encouraging you, you are there because you know they're holding on, only to find out that they let you go a long time and you're riding by yourself. Encouragement. It's like driving today. We went somewhere and Joshua, we allowed Joshua to drive because he has his license and he has to practice driving. And by allowing him to drive would raise his confidence. That is encouragement. That is encouraging him. I don't have to say, well, Joshua, you're doing it good. Or Joshua, you do good. I sat in the vehicle and I watched him. If I thought he was too close, I would say, Joshua, a little too close. Or slow down or something. But when you encourage people, they get better. Their self-confidence is boosted. And it's important. Because think of encouraging somebody, but also think of you being encouraged. Think about that time when you were really low and you're really down. Think about that. Another reason why encouragement is important is that it can reignite or rekindle your passion. Sometimes you're passionate about something, and somehow, as they say, they throw water on it. Maybe you're studying and you're going towards something and you fail the exam, or something happened and you decide, not me. You were passionate about it before, but encouragement, somebody comes and encourages you. They encourage you, and because of that, the passion that you once had for the thing, they remind you of the passion, they remind you of the outcome that you're striving for. And they speak into your life and they encourage you, and that rekindles, it reignites, that spark is reignited, and it's now a fire burning again. That's what encouragement can do. Encouragement can also help you finish the race. We have seen, if you go on the internet, you'll see many races where somebody's running, especially a marathon. You're running a marathon and you're tired. You don't think you're going to make it to the end. And you're ready to quit. You're ready to fall. And then the crowd just starts to clap. And the crowd just starts to cheer. And they're boosting you on and they're calling your name and they're calling your name. Or maybe if you're representing your country, you see a section, with the Trinidad and Tobago flag, and they're waving it and they're calling your name, and they're encouraging you. They're motivating you to not give up, to not quit, to touch that finish line. Even if you come last, like what happened in our 4x400 in the last Olympic. One of them was running and his shoe came off. And, they still ran. They still made it because they know they were representing their country. And that's what encouragement does. It encourages you to finish. I remember, and I know I've told this story before, I remember when I think I've been studying all my life. I have been studying from Miss Didi Private School, ABC School in St. Barb's, to all these schools. I went to, I think I checked last time, it's about 17 schools I've been to in my life, because I've been studying. studying accounting, studying management, studying all kind of things. I've been studying. And I remember after studying for some time, I decided to go to Bible school. And I remember that when I went to Bible school, after a few weeks, I wanted to quit because it was too hard. And what was hard is not so much the content, but having to study, having to work whole day, go to school in the evening, go home in the night to do assignment, come back to work the other day, go to school, and it was too, and I hadn't studied for some years. I hadn't been to school for some years, and it was difficult. And I didn't think I could do it. I could do it. I really didn't think. And I remember I was sitting in front of the computer, and my wife was passing. And I said, I ain't able with this thing. She may not even remember that. I said, I'm not able with this thing. It's really too hard. And she put her hand on my shoulder and she said, you can do it. I believe in you. That's all, huh? That's all, at all. No speech, no nothing. You can do it. And would you believe you would people, just those words, just those few words made me feel that I could accomplish anything. Listen, I was so motivated because my wife believed in me. I not only finished Bible school, I finished the top of my class. I got a big, you should see, I still have the trophy home. The trophy almost as big as me. And I would not have gotten that if I had quit. But a few words of encouragement helped me to finish the race, helped me to realize that I could do it. Because somebody encouraged me, somebody believed in me. And I went on and I finished, as I said, I graduated to the top of my class in Bible school. I was a valedictorian. And then after that, I went on to do my master's. And a lot of them quit. As a matter of fact, we started off with 20-something people. In the end, only 2 of us graduated in the master's class. Only 2. And I wasn't the valedictorian because by 3 marks, 3, that's what the lecturer, the Bible school president told me. He said, you're off by 3 marks, professor. And then, of course, I went on and I did my doctorate. All because I was encouraged when I was discouraged. I was encouraged to finish the race. That's how important encouragement is. Encouragement can help you strive for greatness. Sometimes we settle for mediocrity. We just want to get a C. We just want to get a C. We don't want, we don't be an A, or I just want to pass. How many of us have said that? I just want to pass. And I know how you feel because there are certain courses that you do, certain subjects that you do. They're so hard, you just want to pass. I remember a particular subject I did. I don't remember which one it was. But I remember the subject was hard. And the pass mark, it was so difficult. The pass mark was 40%, not 50. 40%. And I just wanted to get 40%. It was so difficult. And I ended up getting about 42%. And I didn't mind it because it was a pass mark. So I know. But if somebody had said to me, hey, listen, you could do this thing. Listen, I'll be there to help you. I might have got in the 80s, 90s. I don't know. But sometimes we settle for mediocrity. But a word of encouragement can lift us up. And we would strive for greater things. Encouragement can also save your life. We know that. There are people who are on suicide watch. There are people who have given up on life. For whatever reason, things have happened. Bad things keep happening like Job over and over. And they have come to the point where, listen, I can't take this anymore. I cannot take this anymore. I want to end it all. If I take my life, I don't have to worry about what's going on, because in their own mind, that's it. And that's why it's important what we say to people. Because a person who is on a suicide watch or maybe contemplating suicide, they don't always walk with a sign and say, I'm going to kill myself. But sometimes certain things they may say, people who are close to you. Listen to people. If we listen to people, we would know where they are at. And a word of encouragement can turn somebody's life around from going to do something that they ought not to do. It can save their life. That's why they have this suicide hotline. They say, if you're feeling like committing suicide, call the hotline. So there's somebody there to encourage you. People, encouragement is important. We all need it. And you can save a life by encouraging somebody. And not just people who are going to commit suicide, you know. People who are going to do the wrong thing, maybe commit a crime. Somebody who may be going to join a gang because, you know, they can't take what's going on in their life, and they don't have, and they want to get, and the gang life promised them so much. A word of encouragement could show them, listen, if you put your shoulder to the wheel, if you do, maybe you're doing it the wrong way, let me show you how to do it so you can accomplish in life. That can save somebody. A word of encouragement. I want you to understand how important this thing called encouragement is. It affects all of us. All of us. And if you've never been discouraged before, well, I don't know, maybe you've been living on planet Mars or on the moon or something, because all of us get discouraged. Encouragement can bring you back in line with your purpose. Sometimes we get confused as to where we are at and what we are here for. And we might be going down the wrong path. And somebody comes and says, listen, I see in you so much greatness. I see in you. And you see what you're doing there? You're going down the wrong path. Let me help you get back in line. A word of encouragement. Because sometimes our purpose, the path that we've chosen, the path that God has called us, is not an easy one. We think that everything supposed to fall into place once we put everything into place. But no, things fall apart. And even though you're called to something, it is not always easy. Jesus understood that when he was in the Garden of Gethsemane. But he understood his purpose, and it, you know, he was brought back to his purpose. And it's the same thing with us. We need to understand that sometimes our purpose gets blurred. The road to our purpose gets blurred. There's no path, you only see in bush. And you figure, look, I better turn back, I better do something else. But somebody comes and encourages you and say, listen, I know you're called for this. I know you're born for this. I know. You're going to study, you want to be a medical doctor. When you hear the cost of doing that, you say, no. But that's what God called you to do. And somebody comes and encourages you and says, listen, trust God. I want you to know that this is what you're called to do. And God will make a way. Once he's given you a vision, he'll make a provision for it. And encourage them. Encouragement. It brings them back to their purpose. You see, encouragement is like watering a plant. Yeah. It's like watering a plant. Sometimes the sun might come out and scorch the plant. And it looks dry. It looks like it's falling apart. But what it needs is watering. Once you pour in that water, the water has what it needs to grow. Wet your plants. That's what encouragement is. It's wetting people. It's giving them what they need to grow. Are you hearing me? This I got from the internet. It says encouragement lights up the prefrontal cortex of our brains. And that's the area that is associated with creativity and cognitive functions such as thinking, memorizing, and information processing. What that means is when you encourage people, you stimulate something in their brains. They become more creative. They remember more. They're able to process information more. That's what you do when you encourage people. And encouragement leads to confidence. Confidence leads to action. And of course, action leads to accomplishment. That's how important encouragement is. And we need to encourage one another. Because one day you are up and somebody is down. When you encourage them, the position, the situation might change the next day or the next week or the next month. And that same person whom you encourage might be the one to encourage you. There are so many people who, because of their status in life, they feel that they're not worth anything, they can't accomplish anything, and somebody encourages them. And today they are leading in industry, they are managing, they're in positions of authority. They are helping other people. They go from rags to riches because somebody encouraged them. Somebody said to them, listen, you are worth more than this. That inherent worth that you have, you carry around the breath of God in your body, and you are valuable, you are worth something. Somebody said that to them, and because somebody said that, they began to realize how valuable they are. That their diamond and the box that they're in does not give them their worth. What gives them their work is what they're made of. The thing that makes up that thing, not what it is held in. And so encouragement reminds us that regardless of our situation and circumstance, or maybe I should say it this way, our situation and our circumstance don't define us. When Jesus was hanging on the cross, people might have, in fact, they mocked him. You are the one who say you're the Son of God. You are the one who teaching all this. And come down. Come down. And a lot of us, people mock us. And we give in to it because we don't remember who we are. We don't remember our words. But if somebody would encourage them, if somebody would remind them of who they are, if somebody would remind you of who you are, and I want to remind you tonight, I want to encourage you tonight. I want to let you know, maybe there's somebody here, you can't read properly. And because of that, you're discouraged. And they said everybody else can read, and they're reading the Bible, and I can't do it. I want to encourage you tonight. Because maybe you're not able to read, but you can listen, can you? You can hear. There's the audio Bible that you can listen to. You see, we have to find ways of getting around all these negative things in our lives. Forget what people tell you, that you would never amount to nothing. Listen, prove them wrong. My wife and I, on one of our programs many years ago on Just Live Right, the theme is live right and prove them wrong. You just live right and prove them wrong. I want to encourage you tonight. I want to encourage you, if what you're going through something right now and it's making you feel battered and broken and bruised, I want to encourage you that this too shall pass. It will pass. And you might ask me how. I don't have the how. That's God's job. I want to let you know that the God that you serve and the God that I serve said he will never leave you. He will never forsake you. That his ears are inclined unto you. That he sees, just like he told the children of Israel. He said, I see you. I've heard you. I know what is going on. And I've come down to deliver you. So I want to encourage you. I want to let you know that you are not in this thing alone. You might be going through something that you have not shared with anybody. because you don't feel people would understand. Or you feel that you are the only one that is going through this. Nobody else. I never hear nobody talk about this. You say that to yourself. Well, that is not so. There's nothing new under the sun, Solomon says. I want to encourage you. I want to let you know that you can make it. I want to let you know that you have what it takes. And the first thing that you have is God on your side. You have what it takes to make it. Maybe there's a particular position in the company that you're working for and you want to apply for it, but you're hearing these voices saying you're not qualified. You know, you will never get here. You will never be a supervisor. You will never be a manager. I want to encourage you, get rid of those voices. Don't believe what you hear. God will never tell you that. You know that. He will never say to you, you can't make it. Trust him, ask him, speak to him. Find out what it takes. Don't just, listen, faith without works is dead. Eh? If you want to be the manager, find out what is the role of the manager, what the manager does. Go and do some research. It's like when you're applying for a job and find out about the company, get information on them. I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you tonight because I sense that some of you might be discouraged because of what you're going through. You might be living in a place and you want to get out. You want to go, God, take me out of here. And want to leave, Lord. And you're discouraged because nothing is happening. I want you to reprocess that. Something came to me the other day. And I don't know, I can't say it's God yet. I can't say. I haven't even mentioned it to my wife, but there's something because we want to move to. We need a bigger place. We need a bigger place. My family, where we live now, it was just Nicole and I. Now there are 5 of us, to the 3 teenage boys. But there's something that came to mind the other day that says, you need to do this. When you do that, then God is going to release his hand. I don't know if I was talking to myself or the Lord was talking to me. I haven't been able to process that as yet. But I'm saying to you, think about why you are where you are. Maybe there's something you're doing or not doing that God is saying to you, I will need for you to do this or I need for you to not do that. Because sometimes the voices that we hear that is pulling us down, it's our own voice telling us you can't do it. You can't do it. I want to encourage you this evening. There is nothing that you cannot accomplish. There is nothing that you cannot do. And when I say nothing, do not hear what I'm not saying. Don't try to fly. You can't fly. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about things that are natural to human beings. There's nothing that you cannot accomplish. Are you hearing me? There's nothing. Don't be discouraged. Maybe you've been believing God for your healing for a long time and it hasn't happened. Don't be discouraged. There's a reason why God has not healed you yet. Don't be discouraged. I want to encourage you. We're going to stop here tonight and we're going to go on tomorrow night. We continue with encouragement, but there's some other things that we need to say. And tomorrow night, we're going to look at why does the Bible say we should encourage one another. There's some specific reasons in the scriptures as to why we should encourage one another. We're going to look at that tomorrow, God's willing, when we come here. God bless you. Have a wonderful night. Are there any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Anybody? Or are we good? Okay. If not, then I'm going to hand back over to Minister Joshua. Have a wonderful night, people. See you tomorrow, God's willing. Bye-bye.